I don't know if he loved her, but like she just never comes back up again. You know what I
She
mean?
never.
Like they kind of
She
like they bring up characters of interest and then they just disappear.
then the woman that also had his phone number. She
Yeah, the
never
lady
came
from the
back up.
hospital.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergy, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji Will, with me and my co-host. I got a little twisted there, but
A little,
Herbe!
a little twisted like a T.
Yeah, I went a little too fast for my capability.
You're not Eminem. Stop it.
I don't even think Eminem raps fast, but I don't think it's the fastest rap I've ever heard.
Could be. Don't
But
know.
apparently he's got a world record for like, I don't know, whatever.
Anything is possible.
I enjoy his music.
Hmm. Yeah. And you don't stop.
It's 187 under. What's up, Herb?
But yeah, so let's get
Copyrighted.
let's get them flavies.
Did you even say hi to the people?
Nope, you didn't ask me.
I said Herbe.
Nah, dog. He's faking
I,
and
I wasn't.
perpetrating
I was
scary
faking.
reality.
Nah, dog. It ain't even like that. My eyes are just heavy. Knees weak.
Okay, that's enough of this trope.
I
But yeah, what's up, peoples?
wasn't lying, dog. My eyes are heavy. My knees are weak. I get so weak and okay. Copyright.
Yeah, dog, that's enough. Out of
Flavor. You
you.
said flavor. I'm a little hyper.
Yeah, what flavor you got going on this week?
My flavor is coming out of reincarnated as a sword, and it's when my lovely little Faran cat girl, also main character but not main character. She wasn't. She was advised not to use her sword in public. So what she did was she kind of used wind magic or something like that, plus aura blade, and to send like a cutting wind, and she just cut this douchebag's legs off. I was like, oh, it's kind of
Mm,
badass. That was my flavor.
double amputee.
Yeah.
So I guess my flavor, I'm gonna go with some high card with old Wendy changing and doing some
Yo,
stuff. Cause I was like, yo, she before she was fighting, I was like, oh, okay, that's a nice tactic to use right there.
who
And I
does
was
she
like, oh,
remind me of? What character is she like close to? There's a character that's like calm at first and then goes crazy.
yeah, I don't know who it is though.
But like you recognize it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just can't place the character at the moment.
I mean, it's not the same, but there's that one chick in Hunter x Hunter that has a crush on Gon. When they went on the
Mm,
date and she was all cute, but then he was like, "Yo, we can't really be together though." And she went freaking nuts.
yeah, I don't remember. I didn't get that far Hunter x Hunter.
What? I thought you finished it.
No, I finished what was on there. I just never finished nothing else.
What was
Like
on
the
where?
dub. It was like I just finished all the dubs.
Oh, they
And
stopped
then
dubbing too. So wait, the
yeah,
dub is not caught up to the sub.
no.
Holy crap, dude! You haven't watched the Chimera arc?
Nope.
You, yo, that's like, and like, I'm not like, oh, Hunter x Hunter's the best anime in the world, but that is like regarded as one of the best arcs in anime.
It's funny though because I remember seeing like bits and pieces on it of it on Cartoon Network, but the dub just doesn't exist on Crunchyroll.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the honorable mention also, my boy Jin Woo's song, Almost Taming a Dragon, being a man to, an inch of his life.
Yo, I watched that fight over. Well, I should say I read that fight
I was like, yeah, the anime doesn't come out till next year, buddy. So how could you watch it?
It's just, the anime that's to come out the next year. That fight probably won't come out till like 4 years after.
Yeah.
um, I read that fight over and over and over again. My man decimated. Like OP wasn't the word, but to rewind back a little on your amputee joke, I thought I would
Hmm.
thought I'd share a really messed up my most messed up joke to a person who was like missing a body part is there's this guy I work with, he's missing a pinky, right? And like in the work environment with just guys, kind of just all like shit talking. Well, I said something and like he tried to flip me off and I was like, that's not even your middle finger. No?
Mm.
No? No? I thought it was funny.
I mean, if he like tried to do something with his pinky, then maybe. But
No, he tried to flip me off. The hand only had 4 fingers. Give me the middle finger.
nope,
No? Okay, I'll
nah.
stop. Never mind. All right,
It,
continue on. Sung Jin Woo. OP as hell.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
His son gonna be
my
all
God.
OP too.
Mm, I don't know, cause I feel like he will he have the system? I don't know.
The son? I don't want to give anything away.
Hmm. Yeah, cause I feel like the system was something he had. So
Yeah, I don't want to give
the,
anything
the
away.
son
You'll find
shouldn't
out.
have the system. Will I? I might just stop reading it. So I'll
If you
never
stop
know.
reading it, I'll just tell you.
Okay, I'll never know. The world may never know.
The world may never know.
Nah, but yeah, good volume. Finished it up. It's like, man, some good stuff. Hopefully, his father, it's really his father, and is it someone using his face? Who knows? The demon monarchs.
There are
Yeah,
a lot of things in Solo Leveling, and I think P can agree with me on this. They kind of just leaves things unresolved. Um,
like the first girl that he like loved, and she like loved him, but he never said nothing else to her.
I don't know if he loved her, but like, she just never comes back up again. You know what I
She
mean?
never.
Like, they kind of
She
like they bring up characters of interest, and then they just disappear.
then the woman that also had his phone number. She
Yeah, the
never
lady
came
from the
back up.
hospital.
Yeah. Um,
So I don't
some
know
other
if
stuff.
Pete would agree with that in further situations that you're not at yet, but like there were a couple of things where like yo, I can't wait till this interaction happens, and like it never does. It was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool, I guess.
And I don't know why homie thought the leader of the guild told you not to mess with him. And what'd you do? You went to mess with him anyway. Now you did, and you his minion.
It's funny
I
how
would
that
have,
works.
yeah, I would have just, as soon as he would have switched places, I'm like, oh, yo, that's not normal because he wasn't there a second ago. And now he's here. I said, that's some high level stuff. I'm like, you know what? Heal the man. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, but like his plan all along was to get Thomas Andre to fight him. He knew he didn't stand a chance. The problem
I
is he
don't
took too much of a beating in the process.
I don't know. I'm talking about Thomas Andre. I'm talking about Wong.
Yeah,
The
yeah. Han Sung Wan, the brother that
uh,
was trying to plotting revenge the whole
Oh
time.
yeah. Okay. But see, I thought when you said it, I thought you was thinking about Jin Woo, his plan to fight. I was like, no, you just saving this man's.
No, no, no. The Huang Dong Song, whatever the
Yeah.
hell his
Oh
name
yeah.
is.
His was to get that man to fight him, but like the disparity in their powers. Like I don't even know why Thomas fought after he knew he was on a different level, but he just
Pride.
refused to admit it.
Pride. It's a bitch.
I would have like, you know what, dog, you can kill him, man. It ain't worth this.
He deserves it.
He did. Yeah. So, but yeah, good read. Enjoyed it.
Now you're making me want to read Solo again, but I also want to read
You just,
Weak Hero again.
you just gonna read it anyway
I was, but
because that's your favorite person.
yo, you once in a while you get some stuff that like It's funny how like in music and shows things can like hold your number one spot for a while, and then like out of nowhere things start creeping up on that list, and it's like, are you there yet? I don't. No, but you get in there. It was like when I first heard NF, and I was like, damn, bro, I almost like this man more than Eminem.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Solo right now for me is like, damn, I almost like this more than One Piece. He's the only other character. He's the only other thing that's made like a permanent spot on my body.
Yeah, I like it better than One Piece already.
Well, you're a One Piece hater, so
I'm not a One Piece hater.
hey Tor.
Nah, it just don't be capturing my interest.
Hands down, despite how long people think it is, the best world building in anime.
Debatable. But all right, let's get into some shows here.
What?
Yeah, let's get into some shows here.
What show?
Dealer's Choice. Whichever one
Dealer's
you want to.
Choice? Was that a pun for high card?
No, I'm just saying a euphemism to say you choose.
Yo, go with let's do Eden.
Okay, a little bit of Eden here. Eden of the East, Season 1, Episode 10. Who killed Akira Takizawa? So, it starts with my boy Takizawa. He lets him get on the train. He leaves him. My girl Saki checks her messages, and Osakai is like, "Oh man, homie's dangerous. Don't be hanging around, homie. You might get into some dangerous stuff." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we get Mononobe. He shows up to talk to Takizawa, and so they he starts talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it so both of us can finish this game, this, that, and the other." And Saki calls Takizawa on his phone, and she's like, "Oh, I know about the phone. I know about this, that, and the other." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go chat with someone who has all the answers." And then we find out the main man that set this whole thing up, Atto Suzo. Yeah, the man
Mm.
who orchestrated the whole game. He's a billionaire, Celesal. You know, he bought a Brazilian football team, and this is where we kind of get like the etymology of what it all means, because Celesal is equal to like cent, and like Brazil is like all plays on like things that he liked. So I'm like, huh, that all makes sense now. And the old man, he's dying from terminal cancer, and it's most likely that he is already dead.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking like, how do they like pick people? And then I also had this thought about what if the machine's like designed to go on until like the world reaches a certain algorithm that he built. So it's
What
like new
if
people, yeah, new people get added all the time.
what if he's the supporter?
Yeah. Or I also had another thought too, like what if the supporting role changes from person to person, or like it changes needs on the of the game. Like that's why made that note a little later, but you know, I'll tell you the reason why I think that in a minute
Okay.
when I get to it. So yeah, he's dying. He's most likely dead. And Mononobe says he wants to become Mr. Otosai, and he's going to gain control of Jalise. And Mononobe, they go to the building that he owns, and Yuki, the guy that was there, the man that killed Panties, was sad. And they're like, oh, they're just going to attack again. And they got 60 missiles this time. I'm like, oh man, 60 missiles. That's a lot of missiles.
So to say,
And
how do you expect me to think you're looking to save the world. You just willingly killed this Mr. Panties, no hesitation.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like it's like backwoods thinking ideology. I don't know. I'm just like I can't with you guys. So yeah, they said the missiles attack will make society reevaluate what's important to them, and we found out there's another guy there, and he wants to quit the game too because he already had 10 billion yen. So that's when I was thinking like maybe they just pick people at random that might already have a purpose. So like, huh, interesting.
It's possibly.
Yeah. So then they fill Takizawa in as to why he erased his memory. He was betrayed by those he'd helped and those that he tried to help. Uh, yeah. So then they start going through. We then flash to the other group of the people he's invested in, and they're going through the data, discovering all the stuff that he did because Panties had sent them a data dump before he passed away, and the Neats show back up, and then Takizawa makes a big play and transports Jalise to a secure location. And this is when I was like, what if the supporter changes based on like the needs of the game? Like the game would have been over if if they had actually taken control of the mainframe. And so I'm like, maybe it was all part of like the game calculated somehow that Takizawa was going to behave the way he did, and so like it switched him to like the supporting role, but he didn't have an idea of it. So that's how the game continues. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Do you think Takizawa is gonna get his memory back at some point?
Memory's fickle. There's a chance that it could come back, but like
Well, I
if
wonder
you,
how he even got rid of it in the first place.
it's sci-fi techno BS, you know.
Sci-fi technopia. Fair enough.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist. Like I could see if we started this thing off and he like got half his brain bashed in and it made him forget his memory, I'd be like, okay, that's plausible. But a man woke up with no memory. It's like, yeah, I have no memory. I got it erased. I could see he woke up from a coma, but no, that wasn't it. So, so yeah.
Fair enough.
And the last episode, I almost watched it because like, oh, I kind of just want to finish this up, and no, but it's like I couldn't do it. I got to wait. But yeah,
2 more
good.
episodes.
I thought we only had one after this. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a big deal anyway. But yeah, so are you hitting or you drawing? Which one are you trying to do?
Um. I guess I'm drawing.
Are you going to stay or fold?
I guess I'm gonna. This is gonna stay.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Should I
Now I'm
stay
talking
or
about.
should I go?
I'm trying to incorporate some card puns into there. So, but yeah, what to talk about next?
Hit me.
Well, I'll hit you a little bit of that Revengers.
Oh, Revengers.
Yep.
All right, sure. Episode 3. Fortune is fickle and blind. Raizo is with Neo in the beginning of this episode, and like she's taking him throughout this China district, and um she seems to be trying to get a reaction out of him, but like homie is not having it. The only reaction she could get out of him is when they saw a scene in town of a guy getting set up with the rap of dealing opium, and it was obviously not true. And Raizo thought that was like kind of like odd for a samurai, and she was like, Neil was like, that seemed kind of nice to me. The samurai who blindly killed his father-in-law for a false crime is way scarier, and that My man's
I,
face was pure shock.
I said that wasn't exactly what she said, but
Well, what did she say?
it
That's
was
what it
more
sounded like
so.
to me.
It was well, it was more so. She said, "Samurai that's like that just follows like blind orders, like scarier to her." Um,
I'm pretty sure
so
she mentioned killing the father-in-law.
she might have,
My man was shot.
but I think she's like, yeah. Either way, it was it tended to land how she wanted it to land.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it says the scariest samurai are the ones that obey and not ask questions.
yeah,
Which
that was
essentially,
him.
yeah, essentially that's like exactly what she was saying. Like, yeah, people that just kill their father-in-laws. So
So, aside from the Chinese district, there is like a cliff, and this cliff is filled with poor huts. It's huts with people who either have problems or are too poor to live in the city. Um, the doc and Neo end up there a little later, but before that, we for some reason just went straight back to town. We come into Soji, who's passed out and drunk. This kid Hana wakes him up, and the doc. Do we have the doc's name?
I don't even know.
I don't think I
I
wrote it
couldn't tell
down. I
you.
don't think I have it. I don't think he's been introduced yet.
Yeah,
So, Gear 2 Doc over there, he walks up with Raizo and basically says, "Hey, you're sharing this room with him." And Soji was not having it, but then Doc was like, "May I remind you who's been helping you cover rent?
yep,
You don't really have a say in the matter."
sure don't.
So Soji is now with Raizo, and Soji is soaking. The Doc goes into the poor area of that cliffside with Neo, and they find the wife to the shop guy who got set up. And she basically confesses that the samurai dude said that if she put the opium in the Buddha, he would give her medicine or something like that.
Yeah, medicine because she has an affliction of something.
Yeah. And you saw an array of people in that little area. Like some of them, like drug addicts, others, I don't know what the hell they were doing. But there were a whole
Sickly
bunch in
folks.
that one area.
Yeah.
So, after Ewan has a meeting with some perv detective who they call the Pajama Police or something like that, they nickname him.
Yeah, his name is like I saw Rizawa.
Ooh, maybe he belongs in Bleach.
Yeah, maybe.
um, the detective basically Pajama Police. That's what I'm gonna call him. Pajama Police guy basically said, "Oh man, this guy stopped at the coin with this coin, gold coin with a pipe mark. But if I took this, it'd basically be bribery. Maybe you can find his proper home because like they both agreed that even having a dispute between themselves will be only beneficial to the magistrate district, which is how the shop guy ended up being set up. Regardless, he wouldn't side with the magistrate office. So if you don't pay up, you get set up.
Yeah, run up and you get done up.
Yeah. So obviously, UN took the job, and Soji volunteered to do the job with Raizo, and they pass Neo on the way into the town where she holds up five fingers, which we later find out means there's only five people, and they make a little contest between themselves. Whoever drops the most bodies gets the room for the night.
I don't think he made a contract. Well, I think it was like the room. The other one had to leave, but I don't think it was. Rides just accepted the contest. Homeboy just wanted him out.
Yeah,
So
I don't think Raizo was gonna
I,
kick him out if he won.
yeah, I wouldn't say. um, they accepted the thing because
Yeah,
Rizo was gonna be him no matter what.
yeah. Well, in the end, we'll get to it. So
Yeah,
Sochi's plan was to let Raizo get the first guy, assuming he was gonna scream and launch at him, and then he was gonna get surrounded, and then he was just gonna murk everybody into confusion. But when Raizo started stealth killing, it's like crap. Now I gotta actually put some effort into this. So it goes in the order of this: Raizo kills dude, hides body. Soji kills two guys, leaves them bleeding. Raizo kills another guy, hides body in the same spot. So I was thinking that like Soji was gonna assume he won, and then it was just gonna be a pile of bodies in the bush. Because
yeah,
at this point, I didn't think there was only five people.
yeah.
But we
Uh,
come to the last guy, the tiebreaker, and it looks like Raizo just throws away the kill. He just lets Soji have it.
yeah,
And then in the midst of Soji saying, "You gotta go," he then slashes through the wall. There was a sixth guy, and they tie. And Soji basically goes, "No, a bet's a bet. We gotta honor the bet. It's a tie. We'll both split the room."
yeah. And I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah. So we zoom over to or shoot over to UN and the doctor, and they're talking about Rizo and like his situation and how like they shouldn't get him involved any further because it'll get more dangerous. It's like that's where the episode ends. I'm like, I don't really know how much more dangerous he can get because y'all got homeboy killing people, but okay.
I think it was more so like it's like some unwanted attention or something
Oh,
along those lines
someone's definitely like trying to use him as a scapegoat.
for
According to the
something.
pajama police guy.
Yeah. So I'm like, huh, interesting. But yeah, there seems to be like an overarching theme of people that are samurais that are dealing opium. It's an epidemic out there. The opium epidemic.
The opium epidemic.
Yeah. Like crack in the 80s. You wasn't alive for that, so you wouldn't know.
Damn.
Yeah. So, you want to do high card or magical revolution?
Oh crap. Yeah, that's right. Um.
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
I'd rather end with magical revolution.
All right then. So, well, I'll do Jujutsu Kaisen real quick.
Okay.
So, Euroza, whatever her name is. Um, Essentially, she's having trouble with her cursed energy, which essentially I liken this to when Naruto was very inefficient with his chakra control, where he would just summon a whole bunch of shadow clones, but expended not the greatest amount of control over his chakra. And we found out that she was from the Heian period, and
Mm-hmm.
she drew inspiration from insects because they were strong creatures, and she was like, oh, a butterfly can fly across oceans, and a wasp could fly like 100 kilometers. I'm like, oh. So she designed her armor to be insect like. So that's where her inspiration came from. And she defeated five strong generals. So then the fighting starts, and Sukuna he's able to like make her armor not able to respond how it needs to respond. I think he stopped the curse flow energy somehow. So like, huh, interesting. Finds more fights. He summons an ox and a deer, and then my man drops elephant on her head, and so she's like almost beat up. And he's like, "Oh, this is what your love amounts to." and she notices like he smirks, and she's like, "Oh, does she already know about love?" She's like, "I gotta show you everything about love. You're not supposed to know.
You're
I
not
show
so.
you more."
It's gotta be me.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Oh, okay," and she goes crazy. It's heating up.
All
Don't
right.
know.
So
Don't know if I can stay in the kitchen. It's heating up.
well, let's heat up in some high card. Episode
Ooh,
4, Samurai Girl.
the highest of cards.
Yo, my girl's the ace of spades.
Yeah.
She is, I guess, the strongest one in the crew.
Um, I guess, but
It's
they don't
situational.
count the yeah, they don't count the jokers yet, right?
Well, no, it's just 52 cards so far.
Yeah, this is probably the strongest one for now. But I was like, wait, cause I was like, it goes big Joker, little Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
So, but yeah,
enter the ace of spades. Wendy,
call her Cade.
we're having we're having a flashback for one from Wendy where like she's with her dad who's teaching away the sword and like he has this crimson sword. Well, it turns out that it's the ace of spades. And then now I'm questioning how long, like I thought it wasn't too long ago that these cards spread out across the world. But like Wendy has aged quite a bit since that flashback. But
I wouldn't say she aged that much because they did it when she's like a little child, and we
and
let's just
now
say
she's
she's
working.
like, yeah. Well, you don't have to be. Well, Finn's like 17 and working there, so she could be like 18 or 19 working there. So I would
True.
say like the little kid. I would say that little kid looked like maybe 9 or 10, and then you flash to where she's a little older, and she looks like she's like 14, 15.
That's possible.
So
I mean, Love of Peace looks older and more mature.
yeah, she looked crazy. She is crazy.
But so in the flashback, Wendy's dad is telling her about choosing a path. Choose the path for solitude, or you don't choose the path for solitude, which is blah blah blah. Her basically two options, and then we like fast forward to like her sleeping in her room, and I'm like, oh, Wendy chose the path of a slob because that
Maybe.
apartment is a mess.
She
Uh,
works hard. She's doing the best she can.
yeah, so she shows up for work late, and VJ did not like not let her notice like, hey, time. She's like, and she gets all like down in the dump about it. Chris is
She's
dumb.
only like 2 minutes late though.
I know. Chris is dumbfounded because Finn stole his client, and like Wendy is just in the corner, disappointed in herself. The crew ends up going for drinks, and Chris is late. Wendy is sitting by herself for some reason, so it's just Finn, Vijay, and Leo. I think the kid's name is.
Yeah, yeah, it's Leo. Yeah, yeah.
And when
1212.
I think Vijay mentions the first taboo rule, which is to not let Wendy draw her sword.
That was Chris. I mentioned the first one.
Chris mentioned the first one. All right, so it
Yeah,
was after Chris showed up. So Chris shows.
yeah,
Oh,
because
Men-
Vijay was going to say some other rules or something.
he was saying like, don't be late. Like, I guess Leo doesn't like people who are late. And then like when Chris finally showed up, they were like, we were just talking about the taboos. I'm like, oh, the late one. That one's not really much of the rule. The actual taboo rule number one is don't let Wendy draw her sword. And then
Yeah,
like Wendy asks the barkeep for another drink, and he's like, I really think you've had enough. And they give her one. Leo and Vijay split quick, and then they end up, Finn and Chris end up carrying her, where Chris finally says, oh, the second taboo rule, don't let her have more than 3 drinks. I was like, someone probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
beforehand, or
like, oh,
maybe
why
just not
didn't you
leave her
tell
alone.
me? Yeah.
Well, she might be old enough to drink if she's drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think like their drinking ages might be different.
It might be.
It might be like, that's all I can see over the bar type
Mm.
deal. I don't know. Um, but yeah, continue.
Yeah. So we find out that they don't want Wendy on normal and her love and peace on normal missions. That's what her Ace of Spades is called, love and peace.
Lap.
Um, she and I already speculated from the flashback that maybe she lacks control, and
Yeah.
we fast forward a little bit and we come into contact with a dude named John Doe, who is a player with the Agent S card, which is the Four of Hearts. And
Yeah.
VJ is gonna go back him up, tells Wendy to stay there, but she's like, "No, I'm gonna decide my fate," and she ends up going too. Finn is in the middle of a test drive with the customer he stole from Chris, and Chris is currently chasing the he's currently in the bank with the robbers in the situation. So after the whole bank situation, I may have said a little bit this out of order because I suck at writing notes. But after
You
the whole
do.
bank situation, the robbers take a hostage, and Chris ends up taking bullets for two guys to try to get away. Well, he survives because of his high calorie card, and then ends up on a car chase, and that's when Wendy and Vijay show up, and they cut him off, and they start fighting the burglars without trying to hurt the hostage. Well, after slicing and dicing and a close look at the face, Wendy realized that the burglar face looks like the hostage face, and then boom, John Doe, Four of Hearts. The uh, the hostage, I believe, stabbed Vijay in the back, or was it his clone? If which one was it?
It was him.
It was.
The clones were all dressed up. But I think what happens too is like maybe he could switch his consciousness or abilities between the clones or something.
Hmm. What's
Cause I
interesting?
noticed, yeah, cause I noticed when she knocked him out, I was like, oh, he has a a heart around his wrist or whatever. I was like, oh, one of them's a card user. So
Hmm. So what was interesting about this fight progressing is Wendy was doing fine taking him out, but the fact that John Doe kept summoning more clones was wearing her down. And freaking Finn, irresponsible ass, he saw the car chase a little while ago earlier, and faked a stomach bug to go help, and left the customer in that expensive ass car.
yeah,
So Wendy eventually she gains enough confidence to unsheath her sword. Taboo rule number one: don't let her draw her sword. And for a moment, it looks like she's in control. VJ went to hide.
which was
I
hilarious
was like, "Where is he going?" And it
because the
was
guy
like,
was holding him and then he wasn't there no more.
it was like, "Oh, is she okay?" And then she transformed into Love and P. I was like, "Oh, she's psycho."
Yeah,
She draws the sword and gets psycho. Okay, I get it. And then she was like, she called Vijay Veggie J. She just starts going on a rampage. She disperses the homeboy pretty effortlessly, the Four of Hearts dude, who noted earlier that all his clones feel what he feels, or he feels what all his clones feel. So, and then it gets
yeah,
cut down. It's actually probably
Painful.
mentally taking a toll on him.
Yeah, he said it was like painful and he could scar up too. So
Mm-hmm. So after she disposed of John Doe, it was
there
time
you
to
go, John Doe.
time to take care of Vijay, and Vijay wasn't really holding up too well. Leo showed up, and he used a ton of money to summon the biggest safe that he could, and she just cut through that like it was butter. And then she jumped up and sliced the helicopter as if it was also butter. And Chris shows up, and her eyes lit up because it was basically a never-ending reservoir of I can cut this man to my heart's content for her.
Oh, that man, endless meats.
Yeah. And our hero Finn shows up and shoots the hilt with 3 bullets to force the sword out of her hand, and that is what put her back to normal.
Yeah, the bullets they stacked, which I was like, oh, he's shooting a bullet on top of a bullet on top of a bullet that
Mm-hmm.
caused it to go out. So
That's some
that's what the stacked. I was like, that's some
that's some marksmanship.
shoot.
Um, we end the episode with when Wendy getting to work on time, and like she even mopped the floor, I guess, and brought breakfast for Chris and Finn. And the night before, this should have been the ender. Chris Finn's client was still in the car waiting at the same spot. I think the door was still open too.
It was, but yeah,
But
I want to say,
what was weird was like they didn't address that customer the next day, but like I think that car was back where it was it was supposed to be.
yeah. But I want to say she said something funny after the sword, and she essentially too they had a Goku Piccolo moment where when Chris like walked through the sword to hold her while Finn shoots. I was like, oh, this is about your Dragon Ball Z, and but she told Finn, she says, you had the face of a petty criminal who wouldn't hesitate to take a piss in public. But she's like, not half bad though. I was like, that backhanded compliment she did there.
Yeah.
So
But good episode.
yeah, enjoyed it.
I wonder if it's ever gonna like rev up.
Yeah, it's okay. I also want to note that the card, the Ace of Spades said on it was like love is a strong emotion, wishing the happiness to the others, and peace is a state of tranquility where there's no war or conflict. So I'm thinking like maybe she can't control it as of now because her conflict was like she was going against her nature essentially because she wanted to be in solitude, but she wasn't a solitude type person.
She doesn't
So
have inner
maybe
peace. You think that's what's
yeah,
holding her back?
yeah. And to her father, like he said, like himself, he's like, oh yeah, I'm not a warm person. Like you're not cold like me. And so maybe the card, and obviously the card chose her for some reason. It just wasn't because her father had it. So it's like maybe she has that. Maybe she'll control it now since she's part of a team. And then also, I was thinking about the cards, like their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm thinking, like each suit might correspond to something. Like I get like the spades might be like a weapon type, and hearts might do something with like the body related. So I was like, huh. I can't remember the other ones other people had previously, but that was just a little thought I had.
Oh, because Finn has the two of spades, which is a gun. She has the ace of spades, which is a katana, a very strong personality katana.
Yeah, I can't remember what the what you call guy had.
We should have
Um,
a. I should come up with. I should just go through. There should be a list somewhere with like the list of cards per episode.
yeah, I couldn't tell you, but yeah, I was like, oh, that might be something to keep track of, because I was like, oh, they're kind of yeah, like I'm thinking something might be like a body or something like reality changes might be the hearts or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because homeboy had the 10 of something. I couldn't remember which suit it was, but it was like reality changing. And the
Oh,
other,
lucky guy, 10 of hearts.
yeah. So I don't know, but there's no rhyme or reason yet. Maybe
Or
we'll
was
find
the
a
lucky guy the
correlation.
4 of diamonds?
I think it was the lucky guy. So I don't know. We'll have to go back and look at some point.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought I had it. So
Yeah. All right, so
yep.
let's get into a little magical.
The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Royal succession of resignation and fury.
Dog, I saw a spoiler on
What
Google.
are you doing Googling?
I wasn't Googling. So, like, what I'll do sometimes is I will, like, click on my Google tab and, like, scroll down to the bottom where it says, like, check out and discover, and it shows you, like, articles and some of the things, like, you're into. Like, my articles follow gaming, basketball, sometimes football, and very occasionally anime. Now, I've never looked up Magical Revolution stuff, but Crunchyroll just it happened to be there, and I saw something I shouldn't have seen.
Mhm. Oh, also, the drinking age in Japan is 20 years old. So
I mean, it's
she
also an
has to,
anime, so she could be younger.
she could be 20. No, because that guy brought out a little drink for Finn and brought the rest of them beers. So,
Hmm.
yes. But yeah, okay, back to magic. So, Anna's right to the throne is restored. And Anna, she talks about how she's going to be married off to a prince consort. And essentially, she's going to rule by proxy, which is kind of sad because it's her kingdom. But she got to get the king stuff, give it up to him. So she has to do this all while winning over the nobles. And Yuffie and Lonnie, they offer to help, but she's like, "Huh, it's you can't help. It's something I got to do. That's a whole separate issue." And so everyone's already kind of miffed at what's going on now. Uh, so they were expecting Yuffie to protest, but she doesn't. Which I'm like, that's unusual. But like, hey, some change, something's going on. So then they're talking to Tilty, and Tilty, she's like, oh, you can always adopt a kid from a noble family. And then Honest and Tilty come in, talk. She comes in and talks to Tilty, and Tilty's like, what's that look on your face? And and I really didn't see the look, but I like she just looked like she's smiling, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably have to do like she's putting on a facade.
Yeah, Tilty probably knows Honest the best in the group.
Yeah, like a fake smile. I'm like, huh. So I'm like, she's kind of happy, but she's not. And then so my girl Honest is out clearing her head up top, watching the stars, which is a great thing to do. Looking at the stars, you get refreshed.
Hmm.
So yeah, so then Yuffie shows up and she's trying to talk to Honest, and Honest is like, "Oh, well, it's time for me to go pick up Archon Cell." And I'm like, "Lady, it is dark outside. That shop is closed. Like you're just trying to run away." So, and Yuffie's like, "Oh, no, you'll get it tomorrow, and I will accompany you." And it's kind of like as a bodyguard, but she's like, "Oh, we can go without the bodyguards." And like, "Oh," she's like, "I'll protect you. You'll protect me." And she's like, "It's kind of like a date." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Getting dates out here must be nice. Uh, so then they
Damn
go out
right.
undercover in hats, and this was the funny part to me was when she was in there, and the guy was like, "Oh, this is." She's like, "I know who you are, Lady Magenta." So you swiped Yuffie. You swiped Lady Magenta. She's like, "Yeah," because he tried to say, "Oh, this is my assistant." So I was like, funny. That's funny. And then so some lady recognized Anya because you slipped up. Was like, "Oh, Miss Honest," and then she's like, "Oh, Honest." So then the townspeople knock on the door to see her, so she goes out and play for a little bit. And so then my man Tomas, he asks if Honest will be the ruler, and he wasn't really too happy, and he's going to tell her why. And then Honest comes back, and I'm like, "Oh, I want to know why. Why? Tell me why." So, but it turns out we actually get the answer from Ilya because she talks to uh, she was either talking to Yuffie or Lonnie, or she might be talking to both. No, she definitely was talking to Yuffie, and how she doesn't think Honest is fit for ruling because she had to give up on magicology because she cleaned out her whole shop already. I'm like, ooh, and she wouldn't be able to go see the people every day and do stuff. And so then Yuffie goes to ask Toti for help to solve the problem. And this one was kind of like, he's like, "Oh, I don't know what you mean." He's like, "I need you to say it. Say it." And she's like, "I don't want her to be queen." I was like, "Oh, man, snap." So she's like, "I just want to see Honest smile."
Yeah.
And she asked her, like, why. So then she goes to meet with her father. And she asks her father, "Why does Honest need to become the next queen?" And she's like, "I just want to see Honest smile." And he asked her, why are you doing this? Out of devotion, obligation, or sympathy? And she's like, "It's out of love." I'm
Gotta
like, "Oh,
love.
yeah." So this is where it starts to get good. I was like, "Oh," I at this point, I was like, "Oh, I might watch the next one," because I'm like, I kind of want to know the story. So he then tells a story of how Orphant he gave away his happiness to rule happiness of like being a gardener essentially,
Mm-hmm.
or an herbologist, you could say, uh, to rule the kingdom. And essentially, we find out that he was a problem child. So I guess what goes around comes around, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah. So then some spirits show up out of nowhere while he's finishing the story, and they lead him outside. Right as he was saying, there is another option, and we find out that Miss Lumi, she's a spirit contractor, and we get some juicy tidbits how people can enter contracts to become monarchs. Well, spirit contracts to become monarchs to the throne, and if you meet all the certain criterias and such, you could become king and or queen.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh,
By the end of the next episode, you'll know what got spoiled to me.
yeah. So then we also find out that Magenta's father had the opportunity, but he chose not to. And then they're talking about, oh, here's the story. I was like, story? I guess like I gotta know. I'm like, you this how you do me? Hanging on the cliff right here? I just
Hey,
want to know.
2 episodes left, big guy.
Yeah, I might see if I can start reading it. See
Why
where
not?
that's at. Yeah, why not? You're why not?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to discuss, Urbe?
Uh, nope. I
No.
would say, yeah. So they got some good animes out on the Hulu. You can check it out.
Yo, Hell's Paradise started up. One episode came out, and I was immediately entranced with the first book, but the second volume was hard to find for a while, so I never got a chance to. read the second volume, but the anime is now out, so I'm watching it.
Yeah, I think I finished up two already.
The second episode came
Um,
out.
no, not that. Talking about two animes I picked up because one was
Oh,
like it was like kids on a game show, which is kind of it seems like a weird premise, but then it was kind of interesting because they had to get like 100,000 views um, to be let out of this place. Uh, yeah, now I'm just watching the Sherlock Holmes one, which is it's a unique spin, but I enjoy it.
gotcha.
Yeah, and I finished up all the Gintama. It's not bad for background noise. If I'm honest with you.
I finished. I'm quitting heroing, which was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The ending was a little cliche, but it's all right. Cliche.
You're cliche.
At this point, everything's been done so many times. Everything's cliche. So, and I guess I'm halfway through. Reincarnated as a sword. I'm enjoying it so far.
Reincarnation
Yeah,
across the nation.
that is all, folks. Irby, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Well, as always, peoples, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share us with a friend, with another friend,
With a
so we
friend,
can be friends,
so we can be
grow our
friends.
community.
Grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rate us, review us,
Do
you
it.
know, all that good stuff.
All of it.
Hit that subscribe button,
Hit it.
notifications on there so you know when we go release the episodes. And we'll catch you on the flip flop hippity hop next time.
Peace.
Peace.